Hello, and welcome along to another episode of Planet B, your home for dance, debate, and discussion. As ever, I am Danny Howard, and this is my good friend Duvall. And I promised this episode, I watched the last episode back, and I rinsed you quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry about that, but I promised to refrain myself this.
You better.
Yeah, I will.
We're going to fight physically.
No, we will. Well, no, we won't. We won't. You can take the piss out of me, because I think we should start the episode by saying I've got no voice.
Yeah.
I've lost. I'm
I wonder why. What happened?
No, I'll get into that in a minute.
All right,
but
yeah. Anyway, yes. Today we are joined by a plethora of amazing talent.
Plethora, good word.
Yeah,
good
I know.
word.
I figured that out this morning. Yes, it's going to be amazing. We've got a brand new Planet B debate. If you don't know what Planet B is, we're going to get into that a little bit later. But right now, you just need to know it's me, it's him, it's three amazing guests.
Three top tier guests. First up, hitmaker, DJ, producer, hat connoisseur, although he has not brought one today.
Yeah.
Jax Jones in the house. DJ, producer, icon, Jodie Harsh is here. Yay! Finally, one of the breakthrough stars already of 2022. Really excited for what's coming up for her this year. Emily Nash, welcome to Planet B. Now, we should start with the drinks, because Jax Jones, even before we started recording, was asking, where's my vodka tonic or gin and tonic, whatever it is? What is it you're having?
I hope I get mine in that one of those crystal glasses.
Absolutely, that's for you, mate.
Oh, what? I get a disco ball?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's even
They've
better.
actually just been props for the first 4 episodes, but I think we should finally unleash one into the episode.
I hope it's honoured by the vodka tonic that I'm about. Oh, no, Smirnoff. That ain't on my rider, bro. I haven't drunk a Smirnoff since I was 20 years old.
Producer Sam, what are you getting started for?
No, you went cheap on purpose, didn't you?
There's like, I'm not even a big drinker, but there are hangovers like on levels of vodka, and Smirnoff is a pretty bad.
That's high up there, isn't it?
Top one. Nice
It's
one,
like
Sam.
last resort
Nice one.
things, isn't it? Yeah, it's like, ooh.
So, also, there's no ice. So
you can have a warm.
how do you feel about
I got enough here for us, bruv. No, I'm joking. Let me not play that game.
We look after
This
you.
is-
All right.
Yeah, I'm really feeling appreciated to come on the podcast. Got me down to East London, like.
Thank you so much for making the effort.
Absolute pleasure.
It's off to a flyer for you already this year. Another top 10. Congratulations with them and EK.
Amazing.
Give someone else a go, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's another hit. What's going
Oh,
on?
you got, mate. That's how I feel about Ed Sheeran. He used to leave off. I'm setting out them lawsuits. I'm like, guys, you need to sue him for a bit longer.
How is you?
Just keep him at bay, like, make him a bit pissed off this month.
No, no, seriously, it must feel good again just to have another one off. Because I know you weren't sure about this one when we first spoke about it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was kind of interesting because lockdown, I had what you'd call like gold medal slump. Like my first album, Snacks, kind of allowed me to just tick off pretty much all my bucket list.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't know what to do next. So it was kind of creatively, I wasn't that inspired. So lockdown allowed me to kind of dig deep. And Where Did You Go was me just trying to experiment and just push forward and do something I felt kind of stood out.
Yeah.
And it got hit with a lot of negativity.
Really?
Totally. Like, people didn't understand it. My label were just like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense, literally. And then, yeah, we've been top 10 for 5 weeks. It's #1 airplay record. Thank you so much, brother. So the risk paid off.
What weren't you sure about, though? Was it because of the negativity? Sorry.
I was always sure.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry.
I was always sure.
Right, okay. People were putting doubt in your mind.
People
yeah.
were putting dampeners on you and putting doubt.
Hate that.
And so, yeah, it was a real exercise in following through creatively and trying to deliver your vision.
Yeah.
Which I haven't felt like that for a while. So
Yeah.
it's giving me some 2022 energy.
Yeah, no, of course.
Congrats,
you got to just do you and trust your gut, and
Yeah, this is it.
I'd fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
No,
Basically. Sounds like a t-shirt.
Emily, drink.
I think I've got a cider.
Cider.
Oh, you're well hard, didn't it?
Did we get
Oh,
cider?
no,
Oh, do you know what? Did we forget the bottle opener?
yeah, that's
You got a bottle
perfect.
opener.
That's actually a tasty cider.
It is
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's
But
good.
with ice.
Wait,
by the
this one's
way.
cold. Sorry.
Oh, fair.
Oh.
I've got a
Is that
lukewarm
all right,
vodka
that?
tonic.
Is that all right?
Want a
That?
bit more vodka in that?
Most calm, actually.
Sure. I'm getting better. The first time I poured a drink, it was hell. And it was only a tea. I had to make
I
something
saw
tea.
that clip about your tea making skills. What was the controvery about you were putting in milk first?
Well, it's a whole South London, North.
I'm from South, so let's qualify this.
No, we talk about this every episode. No. See what you're doing. This is
sorry.
your legacy
This is
with
meant to be
tea.
a dance music connoisseurs podcast, and here we are discussing teas.
Yeah.
Highlight, right?
I know. There you
there
go,
you
lovely.
Perfect,
I'll
thank
be your
you.
laptop.
Yeah, thank you as always.
Yeah.
And Jodie.
I'm
Jodie.
gonna have a coffee.
Gonna have a coffee,
Yeah.
okay. Here's one I made earlier.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. I've got a real bougie bunch today. Nothing's okay.
Jodie's
All right.
got some
like proper
divas.
East London, so she knows her bean.
Not really.
I've never heard it expressed like that before.
I know my beans very well. I just like I like a Starbucks espresso.
Okay.
I pound.
We got you.
Well, this
we
is-
got you
this
a
is
cold
close.
Starbucks cafe latte instead.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
To be fair, I've got onto the espresso train.
Oh, I love. I just got a new Nespresso machine, which
Wow.
is very
Did you get the
dangerous.
sage?
We're just talking tea, coffee now.
Yeah.
We've gone from tea to coffee.
It's now like a drink
Yes.
podcast.
But let's talk about Emily, because what an amazing start to the year you've had. Garden, one of the first big dance records of the year.
Fantastic.
How's it been since?
It's been crazy. So basically, it was in lockdown. I was producing before lockdown, I was producing a lot of like underground tech house stuff, and then it came, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna switch like to more commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like listened to a few of my inspirations, which I'll mention later. But then I had all like these ideas going around, and because I had so much time, I was like, I just need to keep banging out tracks. So then I started making. If you look at my Spotify, I released with Stress Records, Mind, Falling, and Pressure. And they were more like the commercial side. And then towards the end, I was literally like looking on Splice, and I found this sample vocal, and it was like really haunting. And I was like, oh, there's something here. There's something to do with this. So whacked it onto Logic. I was like, you know what? Let's just go for like a really deep haunting tech house.
Yeah.
So I got the drums ready for it. Got the bass, and then I had like this really sharp synth as well to go along with it, and it literally took probably 2 hours to make.
They're the best ones, isn't it?
I always find the tracks that take fastest are the best ones.
I thought that was you singing.
Oh no, I can't sing. I cannot sing. I get so many messages. Everyone's like, "Is that you singing?" I'm like, no.
Are you actually saying that you spent 2 hours on this record, exported it, and then it was
Hottest
like,
record
don't
in the
gas
world.
me?
You need to come in the studio with me.
I mean, I've been watching your.
She'll show you a thing or two.
Yeah.
actually.
But I've got you a present just to say thank you for
What?
Oh.
What?
2 hours later. The present took her more time to choose.
Oh, thank you very much. Amazing. Oh, I appreciate. We should crack them open now.
Well, the missus gonna love that.
Can we
Yeah.
exchange?
Yeah. I should have gone
Amazing.
for you.
I'll have a little red wine.
Yeah? Okay, we're gonna crack it open now. Nice.
Obviously, it's a great start to the year for you. You've been all over the world already.
Been DJing loads.
Yeah.
And
All good?
Oh, really
Was Australia
good.
at the start of this year, was it?
Yeah, did a little Australian tour a few weeks
nice.
ago.
Yeah.
No jet lag, straight in. That was great.
I feel like everyone's just showing off.
Yeah. No. Put out a tune. Good time.
Don't get jet lag and I make a tune in 2 hours. What are we doing wrong?
Like, yeah. Trying to find myself overlocked.
Oh no. And yeah, good time.
Yeah, good time. Is banger that I released a few weeks ago. That's doing pretty well.
That's amazing.
Got the next one lined up, ready to go.
Already?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I spent the second half of lockdown writing a lot of songs as well.
Yeah.
And making loads of tunes. So got a big fat folder on my desktop for stuff ready to go. So.
Okay. This is what we like to hear. More Jodie Harsh on the way. Well, cheers everyone anyway.
Cheers. Thanks for coming down.
So this episode we're going to talk about, and the reason I'm laughing is because when I say what it is and the state of me, it is pretty ironic. It's about balancing DJ life with actual life, and how we do this from health and fitness perspective to friends, family, relationships, and maybe other businesses, and just because obviously from the outside looking in, DJs go on big stages and they lead this very sort of glamorous life on Instagram, but we sort of want to go behind the curtain with it and talk about what the hard work and the sacrifices that we have to make as DJs. So we're going to start with health and fitness, because I've been seeing a lot of DJs on Instagram this week, even like Patrick Topping, Hot Since '82, documenting their gym sessions. And obviously, we're gym buddies.
Yeah, we've been to Barry's boot camp a few
We
times
have.
together. And also, sidebar, Patrick Topping on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, who knew?
Even I
'Cause he
was like that, to be fair.
Yeah, he was getting like naked on his Instagram. I was like, all right, Patrick. Didn't know you had that bod under there.
Yeah, we went once, and I've not been back
No,
since.
I went this morning actually. Yeah, I try and stay healthy.
Yeah.
It's good for my body and it's good for my mind.
Yeah, of
Get
course.
up early and just like pound the gym.
So are we all
Yeah.
into fitness? Is it part of your life or not?
I really enjoy the gym, but it takes me like at least once I've been doing it for 2 days, I'm in it, I'm addicted to it, I'm ready to go, but it's just getting into it. Like I'll go for like a solid 3 weeks and then I'll be away in London for like 3 days. I'll get back and I'll be like, I've got to go to the gym, I've got to start again. And I lose it. But recently I've been just like finding the time to balance the gym. I'll go to the gym in the morning, do music, then do what else I've got to do and just do that. So I just use the gym in the morning really.
The thing with you, Emily, is you've got a whole summer of like touring to come.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if you make the gym on Monday.
Oh yeah, I doubt that.
Jax, he's nodding like you agree,
I'm back
right?
at the gym.
You bet, yeah.
I don't go gym though. I hate gyms. I
Okay,
can't lie
you
to
don't?
No, like I'd work out at home. I'm
Yeah?
that guy. Like I'd like for things like that. I'd like to remove every barrier of resistance. So if I have to go outside, think about what I'm gonna wear, I just can't be bothered. I just like put everything in my house. Even
Yeah,
from before, I was
it's
doing the
easy.
Joe Wicks back in the day. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do 10 of these. You know what I'm saying? So now, fortunate enough to have some equipment, and so even if it's like a midnight one or a 6 a.m. one, I just go in there and just knock it out.
It's hard to do it on the road.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay
Yeah.
fit and healthy on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you get to, if you've just been on a long flight, then you get to a hotel and you've got a show the following night, you don't want to go to the gym.
It helps with jet lag though.
Yeah.
So I remember big man Dwayne Johnson, when he lands, goes to the gym, and what it does, it kind of resets your body to say like, depending on what, obviously if you need to go to bed, but even that, it can help you go to sleep. I use that a lot.
Yeah, that's true. 50 Cent does the same. Read his book. He mentioned it in there. Like, even if he lands at like 3 in the morning, he'll go and use a hotel gym for that
Easier
reason.
said than done though.
In Europe though, the gyms of certain countries, the gyms in the hotels aren't 24 hours, and that's a buzzkill.
Yeah, you turn it, you go, oh no, it's shut.
Yeah. So out comes the Joe Wicks on YouTube.
What am I gonna do now?
And food in hotels as well. Like food's not generally that.
Yeah,
healthy. You have to
depends on
kind of
where
go
you are, but
looking
yeah.
for.
It's hard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When you find though, when you're on tour, you obviously you cane it. You like your body clocks mash up.
Is that like a double on?
No, you just drinks whatever. You just do whatever because you're on tour, and your body's so mashed up that if you do it for a few years in a row as well, your body's so mashed up that you come back and you just naturally on this like opposite wave. It's like, right, I need to get healthy, I need to do this. And then going back on tour, it starts to slip slowly back into, it's like a vicious cycle. That's what we've had anyway. It's worse when you're partying with your friends and your friends are actually your co-workers. That's what makes it harder, because if they party harder than you, then what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
For me, like I'm more of I don't really party. Like I go to the clubs. My experience of going to the club is to listen to music.
Yeah.
And I would go on my own and just stand there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Were you ever into the sort of party, like raving side of things?
no, like I love making music for people to dance to.
Yeah.
And I love the excitement of creating memories for people. But that's quite a technical process for me, especially the genre of music that I'm majorly known for.
Yeah.
It's quite a technical process. So you kind of, the partying always came second. I was a studio guy. And I feel like a lot of people in dance music, electronic music are actually quite like that,
Yeah.
quite introverted. The kind of this idea where it's like, we're just going hard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's like that. Do you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
Forced into it.
a little,
You
perhaps.
make a banging tune, it's like, right, what do we do now? Right, we have to go out and tour it. And that switch is like, oh, this is all a new experience. What do we do?
Yeah,
Or you do it and then you get it all out your system. That's what I did. Like I don't
Yeah.
party hard and
Anymore?
I'm just not anymore. I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
And I got it all out my system when I was young.
I like what you said in your Mix Mag interview, where you said you're like a professional partier, so you dip in and you're the first to leave. I'm kind of similar. Like,
Yeah.
I go for a reason,
Yeah.
and it has to be a specific kind of vibe if I'm gonna let loose.
Yeah.
But most of the time, even if I'm drinking a lot, I kind of slow down and I'll just be on waters. Like, and you see DJs like Jeremy, who's the guy? He does all night longs all the time. Late night Jeremy or something like that. I can't remember his name. But he's like, I'm at work. I'm not drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, met a lot of DJs that say the same, but then you got the opposite where drinking and partying is part of the act, like Salado,
That's true.
screaming.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, imagine, like, you can't imagine them just doing, you know, what you guys do, turn up, play and leave.
I feel like because the fans idolize that,
Yeah.
but because
Yeah.
they can't do it. So like
Yeah.
they want to do that. Do you know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
it's part of the culture, isn't it? It is nightlife.
So what about so in Ibiza especially, we have like 2 o'clock set start times or 3 o'clock set start times sometimes. I don't know what to do. Like, you either like go to sleep and
Napping
then
is, I can't nap.
I can't nap.
No,
My brain doesn't.
wake up
It doesn't
to
work.
so
that way.
if you had a
fucking-
5 a.m. set, you wouldn't nap.
I wouldn't have I wouldn't take 5 a.m. set.
It's just a straight no.
I guess it's genre specific. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Be like, yeah.
'Cause I'm quite new to like DJing. Whenever I go to a gig now, I'm like, as soon as I'm on, I stay after till the end. But
nice.
everyone's like, oh, you won't do that in a
Yeah.
few years. So I'm trying to enjoy it all.
Do it
now
now,
while I
yeah.
can.
Yeah. At the end of this summer, you'll be like,
Yeah, I'll be like,
first out.
Get me to bed.
No,
But
well, I don't know, maybe a few years, like, how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
21.
Right, so,
years.
you've got, you got some minerals
But it's
to
still
burn.
worth listening to what people are playing.
Definitely,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
yeah,
Like,
for
you're
sure.
there and
Yeah, no, for
turning
sure.
up before. Sometimes I do the 10-minute in and out, but like listening to what people are playing, that's super cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Emily? Are you gonna, just enjoy and get stuck in this summer? Or
Yes. Well, tomorrow I'm playing Warehouse Project with MK, which is I'm so excited because MK is one of my inspirations. Like, if I could work with any producer, sorry, it would be MK.
It's actually time to hear say sorry.
It's one way to get it.
But,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because he's on like 2 till 4, and I said to my friends, I was like, I'm definitely staying.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it gets busier towards the summer, I'll probably dip in and out because like towards the end of April, I'm in Ibiza, and then the next day I'm in Middlesbrough, and then the next day I'm in London. So I haven't really got time to stay around and watch other people.
some
So
route in that, isn't it?
yeah, it'll soon switch
Your agent
up
needs
then.
a call, man.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I've got a lot to come up and a lot of festivals, and it's going really well. But
Good.
it's a fun life.
Yeah.
Are you gonna still do your current day job whilst you're flying to Ibiza and
You have a day
London?
job?
So I work at Tesco.
Amazing.
Oh, sick.
So
I did a stint at M&S when I was 18.
Oh, nice.
2 weeks.
Can I just say on that
You
note?
saw me at the till, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, the little Percy Pigs. There must be something in DJs in their early career working at a supermarket, be some correlation between that and success, because Jax M&S, you're at Tesco and you're well on your way. Karen Harris at Safeway, remember that? Do you know what I mean? There's something in it.
Yeah.
So, and I never did get a job at Sainsbury's. So,
What was your like adolescent job later?
a fitness instructor.
Oh.
That's ironic.
I know. It's all gone out the window.
So you gonna quit?
Well,
I feel like you have to. If
so
you've
I
got
was
a
supposed to
schedule
be
like
there
that.
today, and then I had an email yesterday. I was like, "Do you want to do the Planet B?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sacking off Tesco." So
Do they know what you do there? Like Tesco know
they
you're
know
a DJ.
like DJ and stuff. Yeah, my manager's pretty cool. He was just like, "Yeah, that's fine," and he seems to allow me just to have time off when I want.
Yeah.
But I think come summertime, I might have to.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point, isn't there?
They know you've been played on radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Are they excited for you?
They are like, it's like when you play me on the Friday nights. I used to work Friday nights. Now I've moved, but I used to have to like go to the toilet with my phone and sneak and like listen to you playing it, because I was like, oh my god, I've got a Radio 1 play. And then
brilliant.
the manager walked in and she was like, what are you doing while you're on your phone? I was like, you've got to allow it, like Danny Howard's playing me. And then she started like dancing, so it was all good. But they're really supportive of it. It's
Oh, that's
really
brilliant.
Well, sorry, Tesco, and thank you.
That's brilliant.
We should talk about eating as well. It's one thing I've always struggled with. Like, been at snowbombing this week. Spag bol every day.
Yeah.
Chips. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's actually the good side, because
I'm
if you
like-
go to like, I love the country, but Macedonia, notoriously bad for the hotel food.
Very specific.
I know, because it's
On TripAdvisor, that is bad.
It's a disclaimer.
Macedonia.
I love Macedonia. Great football team as well. But we went to 3 different hotels and they didn't know what. Maybe I just couldn't say it right, but I was just looking for just some potato. It's just some chips, just some fries.
They don't have chips in Macedonia.
Well, not in the way you think. So they have just like meat and salad. This is not all Macedonia. This is just where I went, and I just couldn't get just chips and chicken anywhere.
So what did you get?
Nothing. Just got in a beers.
We played hard out together, Jax and I, and we went to the airport, and we were a bit hungry. I can't remember if it was you or me that went to the counter, and we reported back. It's like they got ham sandwich, cheese sandwich, or ham and cheese sandwich. That was it. Trying a dry, crusty roll. So.
Hideout is a pilgrimage, bro.
I'm playing there this year, first time.
Oh, you got to bring a packed lunch.
Yeah, for real.
Like, you
For
get
real.
off that, the airport is one of the worst airports in the world.
It's like an hour away from the actual.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because it's so far from the
Yeah.
airport, you feel like
Is
you're going
that-
not just to another country, just to another world.
In the middle of
That
nowhere.
That 3-hour transfer is tough. It's really tough.
I sat in silence with Ease, and like, you know, when you get off the plane, you're just a bit like,
yeah.
Route 94 is
Yeah. Man.
I feel like we're having a good moan today about DJ life.
Yeah. It's
DJs
because
that are moaning.
it is true, but it's because of how you feel right now, right? You're fully hungover.
Just emotional.
You look sun-kissed. So where have you been? Tell us about it, and why do you...
Just went snowbombing and just got fully involved, basically. And,
You're not 21
and
anymore,
regret it. I'm now looking for inspiration from these guys about how to actually lead a DJ life. But look, we talked about partying, and you know, part of DJing is touring and being away a lot, and something that can affect mental health is being away from friends, being away from your family. You know, you've not long been a dad, like being away from your daughter, and lack of sleep. Like how. And obviously it's still new for you, Emily, so I don't know how you can comment on this, but like, you know, has it affected you, and how have you dealt with it?
She can't wait to get away from her family.
Yeah. Bye.
You're the opposite.
I think in what we do, there's so many highs and lows, and
Yeah.
there's so many sort of different times as well. Sometimes you're up at 5 a.m. Sometimes, you know, there's other things you've got to do, and it's balancing mental health is such an important thing for a DJ.
Yeah.
I really think so, because I've seen it really fuck some people up.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've really got to stay on top of it, and that's hard as well. And it's all you can put loads of different things around you. You can have a great group of friends, for example, that are going to be honest with you and not take your bullshit and not inflate your ego and tell you the truth about stuff. You know, you can try and get 8 hours sleep a night. I'm at my absolute worst when I've had no sleep and when I'm really hungry. But if I haven't had enough sleep, I'm awful to be around. So it's just sort of managing certain things like that, really basic things. Friends, sleep, eating all right.
Yeah.
Trying to stay, you know, happy and having some nice treats for yourself and taking some time away from like the business.
Yeah, it's
a little bit.
True.
Yeah.
Take your mind away from
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So you just do the simple things then. Make sure you get your 8 hours sleep and you eat.
Yeah,
And,
like the fundamental.
I feel like it
basic
starts
things.
there anyway. So if you
Yeah.
get those right, everything else kind
Yeah.
of falls into place.
Yeah, totally. And I don't like have hobbies outside of like music or DJ. I don't really like do anything like that. Like, but it fills up so much of my life.
Yeah.
It's all I think about all the time. Like I
Yeah.
love my job, I love my career, but I just know that because it's so all-encompassing what we do, we throw ourselves into it so much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whether it's like production or it's traveling or it's playing to a massive audience. So it's really all about being a little bit sensible as much as you possibly can and just sort of managing mental health a little bit around it.
Yeah, for sure. And Jax, like, you know, touring the world, being so busy, keeping on top of family life and just keeping things good and being there. For, like, how have you managed to balance it all?
I'm good at it, you know.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, but you have to put. I remember there was a big up Will Smith with the Oscars, but he's got some good quotes, and I relate to something he said where you have to put as much effort into your family life as you do your business. And in society, we applaud when someone's making money or successful or just like heralded as being like great. But sometimes I find a lot of idols I've met over the years sometimes disappointed because they've given it up. They've given up everything else to chase those material, worldly, like wins. And I feel like I put the same effort that I put into knocking out Where Did You Go, the shows, whatever, into family life, being a dad, being a husband as well. So making sure that, and then and just like in music, I don't always get it right. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just, as long as I'm putting in effort and we try and go for the same goal, like we end up all right.
Yeah, it's like striving for
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
And balance is
Yeah.
a really hard, like genuine balance is a really hard thing, I think. To be
Yeah.
But it's just trying to be balanced.
I find that if last 4 or 5 years, apart from COVID, but when we were touring heavily, my wife tended to come with us more to the glitz and glamour shows rather than the not so glitz and glamour shows. But that, having her included in what I was doing
That's
also
important.
really helped. But we're lucky enough to be able to do that because our boy is 16 years old now, so he can like kind of fend for himself.
And is he asking you
Sort your dinner out, bro.
You say?
is he asking you for guest list yet?
He doesn't care about what I do. This is so painful. Like, I've even taken him on stage with V Festival. He's just on his phone like this. Well,
What music is he into?
Stormzy comes out and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, can I get a picture with Stormzy?" It's like, yeah, but no, he's a good kid. But yeah, we're able to have that balance because also she's able to come on tour with me sometimes, and I think including them in what you're doing, and also like some of the songs I release, I ask her opinion first, and she's really, really brutal about it, which is important as well.
Here as well, by the way.
Yeah, she's
That's the same as my dad. Like, I'll make a tune, I'll literally go straight downstairs, play it to my dad, and he's like, yes or no, and I'm like, okay. And he just gives like the best advice. If it's shit, he'll be like, it's shit. But half the time, I mean, he's like, yeah, that's spot on. I send it to management. They're like, yeah, spot on. Send it wherever.
yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Is your dad like
The
into
approver.
is he into his dance music? Does he know his
Yeah,
tunes?
he loves all the dance music. Like Glastonbury, we grew up going there. Literally
Wow.
every year we could. I don't know how we just managed to get tickets like every year.
Really?
And we'd be in the lounge like with 5 different laptops and phones and be like, right, get onto the tickets because they sell out in like
family
half an hour. Yeah, and then as soon as we're through, we've got them. We're like, yes, and we have to have like a big celebration that we've got them. But yeah, like my whole family, they've grown up listening to like all the obviously Ministry of Sound albums, all the other like dance producers. But yeah, I think Glastonbury was a big inspiration for me as well. Like just seeing all these DJs and producers there really opened things up. And the first DJ I saw who was a female was Annie Mac.
Yeah.
And I saw her and I was like, oh my God, there's actually like women DJ out there, because it was really unusual to see that back at that time. I think it's definitely got better nowadays, but I got back home and I first started, I should say I got into music. I didn't get my maths GCSE, so went to my local college because I couldn't go to sixth form, and they were like, what do you like? And I was like, I like music. So they put me in a music production class, and it was just ever since then, I loved it. I didn't stay away from the keyboard. And then I shortly, when I saw Annie Mac, I was like, right, I could DJ as well now. So I got my first pair of decks, learnt them off YouTube, just kept watching YouTube videos, and then sent some mixes to people, and then I got my first gig at Egg London, and it sort of just like all took off.
Amazing. And it's just thanks to your dad saying that tune.
Yeah,
Literally.
just like honest
What's your dad's
feedback.
name?
John.
Big up, John.
Big
Jonathan.
up, John.
He's your A&R.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think just honest feedback is what you need. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to send a tune to my friends and they'd be like, yeah, it's cool. And it's like, it's rubbish. I've sent it to you. It's rubbish. Just say it's rubbish. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
honest feedback. So that's all that's when I send tunes around, really.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing.
Nice.
I want to talk about balancing. Obviously, we talk about balancing, relationships and balancing fitness and health, balancing making tunes and touring. Like, I know Jack straight away is.
There's that Kanye quote where he talks about either I'm getting paid or getting laid, or I'm chasing one, the other's getting away. That's how I feel about production and touring. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm touring too much, the music's dying, bro.
Yeah.
Music, obviously, I'm not touring, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to get the balance because, So how do you, are you good at making music on the road?
I'm better,
Right.
for sure, and I've kind of treated it like, I plug the gaps. So if I'm less precious about trying to control every aspect of it. So like I've met talented people over the years that help me fill in the blanks so that I can do the other commitments that I have, especially as my life becomes more occupied.
Yeah.
But also, the talk inspires the music, so you kind of need both. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if
And
you make
test
different
stuff
music,
out as
you
well,
need
right?
to test it. So I do enjoy the weekend run out to play shows. My thing is when it's too far. I can't lie to you. Like, I like the European Ibiza. Like, it's quick. Do you know what I'm saying? You can in and out. You can come back. You get that little.
Straight in the studio.
Oh, I know what I want to play today. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's when you're away for time, you're just a bit like, raw. Like, go home.
Yeah.
I've realized during lockdown as well, because I never had 8 hours sleep in my adult life, you know, until lockdown. Like, solid sleep schedule.
Really?
And like, I'm proper routine guy when it comes to creativity. I need to wake up and do the same thing and then go to work on music.
Yep.
I thought I wasn't, but I really benefited from that. So it is tricky, man.
So sleep helps your creativity.
Sleep helps, routine helps me. But some people can be sporadic, do you know what I mean? But definitely turning up every day and doing it helps me a lot. So I just say no to more stuff to try and balance it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that helps. Well, thanks for saying yes to coming.
I was gonna say.
And what about yourself, Jodie? Like,
I'm around quite a lot, sort of
Yeah.
the first half of the week. So that's when I try to do music stuff, and then the second half of the week, the weekend, away for shows and stuff. That's where I'm currently at.
yeah,
you
okay.
know. But that's ever evolving, I guess.
Is that a good balance for you?
For right now, yeah. I guess in lockdown, past couple of years, there's been no touring, so
Yeah.
a lot more focus on making music. I make stuff on the road as well, just some little VIP edits and stuff on my
Yeah,
laptop.
the same,
You know?
same. Yeah,
It's easy
yeah.
just to pull it out.
I enjoy doing edits for shows on the road,
Right,
but
yeah.
making music,
Yeah.
I need
It's
my
just like a
studio.
studio environment.
yeah, I just need to just know where everything is because I've got a lot of like outboard gear as well that I like to use. So I'm not
Yeah.
really that guy that's just a keyboard
In
and a
the
laptop.
box, Yeah.
But old school.
Have you ever done the whole like just like making a load of tunes, banking them, and then just not going in the studio, or are you constantly like?
The only experience I had of that was during
Oh,
lockdown,
yeah.
banked. So I'm like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
feels good. Because my thing just kicked off so quickly. I was catching up the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was, I like
have
this
that.
approach. It's a nice approach. I'm literally thinking a couple years ahead now. So it's
Oh,
kind of cool.
really?
Yeah.
That's so funny you said that. Disciples had the same come up. Like we literally it came out of nowhere and we weren't ready for the next whatever.
You got to take it, haven't you?
Just got to take
Gotta
it.
go, man.
Yeah, and obviously you, Annie, Mr. Jam, you all helped in push our career. You pushed it so far forward that we were always chasing, always, because we were played on radio quite early. And it was like, right, we got to
I
come
remember
with
the
a number.
old rhythms like Catwalk.
Yeah.
Oh, I go way back.
yeah.
I remember I used to slap that John Newman remix. That
Ah, yeah.
it was sick.
Oh, that's one of my favourites. Thank
Yeah, it
you.
was sick.
Oh, Jax is a fan.
And he,
I see all things. I love all
Yeah,
things.
you do. Nice.
And what about yourself? Are you thinking you'll be able to take your laptop and just make tunes and?
Yeah, at the moment, I just literally do Monday to, if I haven't got a gig on the Friday, I do Monday to Friday, just bang out tunes every day, all day. And then if I've got a gig Friday, Saturday, concentrate on that. Sunday is just my rest day. I don't do anything. I literally just lie in bed, eat food.
You don't make music on Sundays.
No.
Day of rest.
And then literally I've just got Tesco Wednesdays and Thursdays. So at the moment, I've got a lot of time, but hopefully, I mean, in the summer, it's looking a bit more fill. So I'll have
Yeah.
that's fine. But I've got like a bank of music as well from lockdown. Like I've got like 50 tunes just sat there. Like they need like
50 tunes.
I've got probably
when
loads
producers
more.
say this, I'm like, what? I've got like 2.
I've got like it's a hard drive full of them. Yeah,
Jax, another drink?
the hardest
Oh,
thing
yes,
is
please,
just
bro.
like finding
Thank
a
you.
good vocalist to put on them. That's the
Yeah.
bit that takes the longest time, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't even bother speaking to Paul Wolford. He makes 20 tunes a day, that lad.
Yeah, he's a proper vibes man.
Yeah.
But there's different types of producers. I feel like I don't finish anything unless I'm gonna put it out.
Yeah.
So I'll have tons of little vibes and
Yeah.
little things, and I'm still drawing on stuff from like 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But-
folder.
Yeah, but you kind of, I just don't finish it until it's time.
I'll
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like procrastinate on an idea before I even start making it as well.
But you're letting it brew.
Yeah,
do you know what I
totally.
mean?
You have to,
You're
right?
collecting
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long would you, I'm guessing maybe, unless there is no time, but how long would you leave a tune before you like go, okay, that's ready? As a minimum. Like, would you make a tune?
Like, where did you
and
go?
rush
Took a
out?
year.
Which
Where
one?
did you go? Took a year.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And there's, because for me, you know, you think about who's singing it. Is it the right person? When can they put it out? Is it the best version of itself? Is the bass hitting? Like, because you know, there are a lot of people that are invested in things that I put out, so it's a different feeling. But that's why I'm putting out more club music. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
I can knock out a tune on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like a little tune that I'm working on with. It's about 20 samples in it.
Ooh.
And I just like, but I'm just like, yeah.
So that'll come out in 5 years once with the clearance.
I'm not even gonna clear it. I'm just like, it was fun. took me a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna put it out. Do you know what I mean?
But you're afforded
not on
the
a
opportunity.
major. Yeah.
You can do that now because of your success.
Yeah,
Almost. So you,
unfortunate. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, unfortunate.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. I thought you said unfortunately. Yeah. So it's nice to have. I mean, you've built yourself up to be able to do both, which is. I mean, people don't get that. That's brilliant.
It's kind of my ambition for the next year, like to kind of. I would love for 2023 to be able to play, you know, a 400 cap club and just like have a great time, play for 3 hours, and people only expect to hear 4 Jax Jones records, and just loads of cool shit, and then I can tear it at like a Reading or whatever.
Yeah.
It's mad how DJs that get to your level strive to get to, you know, sell out headline tours, Brixton, main stages. Then you get there and you go, actually, I want to go back to where I started.
To a sweaty dark room.
It's good. It means you obviously, you know, it's pure and it's, you know, you always want to go back to your roots and have these experiences. But I just find it mad.
For me, it's new though. It's like, my first experience DJing, apart from like the high street run that you do, but I was like warming up for Duke in Sankey's in Ibiza. Yeah. So I never really got to play like the early run. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So I was, you know, it's actually kind of new. So I'm like, oh, this is really fun. Like, do you know what I mean? And it makes you think about music differently. So it's a cool exercise.
I came up through gay clubs, and obviously now I'm doing a lot more like festivals and a lot of straight things and stuff like that. So I'm one day in a few years' time, I'm totally going to do like the gay club run and go and play all my favorite gay clubs.
I really want. Can you book me at a gay club, please?
Yeah.
I want to like play a proper one with like,
Because
because it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted to talk about this because as like we're talking about like balancing DJ life with other things. We've talked about what we've talked about so far, but you also do other things other than just DJing, like run club nights.
Yeah.
And you got one of the biggest, well, most popular ones, certainly in London. Yeah.
did you used to have a club night in a strip club too?
Oh yeah, Metropolis in East London.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to that.
Did you?
Yeah, with Billy, he took me. I was on the boat.
Were you?
Got right involved.
I think I'd gone home.
I like that, Danny.
Yeah, there's a lot of like spinning plates for sure. But I love that. I love having loads of stuff on the boil at the same time.
It's hard to promote a club night at the best of times, but you've managed to do it well, DJing, releasing bangers, touring on your own, but also then have a sellout night every week.
It's about having a really good team.
Okay.
About having a business partner who's really into like the business side of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just really the creative director of it.
Yeah.
Sign everything off, pop in for an hour or two.
Yeah,
So it's about managing.
yeah.
It's about balancing sort of schedule.
Yeah.
That's what we're really talking
And
about.
having the right people around you
Yeah.
to help execute the idea.
Exactly. I'm not the one like going through DJ contracts and like on the phone booking dancers and stuff like that and paying people. I'm more of a kind of creative role in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like the perfect place for me to be.
Nice. And Jax, you do a hell of a lot of stuff. How's that going?
With the podcast, I want to talk about this podcast.
Yeah, go for it.
It's not about music.
No.
I think you mentioned it once on your Instagram. I was like, what's he doing? Like, tell us about it.
Man, like, I just wanted to kind of. So the podcast is just meeting people that are doing interesting stuff in life, business, and art. So we've had crypto billionaires. Sam Bankman-Fried, I had him. He's one of like the top 5 crypto billionaires via an arbitrage trade in Japan. He's a really smart guy, and all the way to Fatboy Slim.
Really? Okay.
And,
So you have some music.
So we have some music ping stuff. It's just I'm really invested in learning and just finding out new things. And luckily, because of the position I'm in, you know, you can meet people that are working at a high level, and it's super inspiring to hear how they think or things they're reading and stuff like that. I've got some great crypto tips. So like, you know, so yeah, that's super fun. And obviously we have the label, Woo Good, which is again about having a good team. But I just love extending the hand to up and coming artists that need someone to notice them.
Yeah.
And because I'm a music maker, I can hear things a little differently to perhaps a suit. Do you know what I mean? So
No, for sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's cool, man. And juggling it is tricky.
Yeah, what are the
Yeah.
challenges of focusing on like, right, I need to get my next single ready or work on an album, or shit, I've got to go and play this tour, to then, you know, being a label head where these new artist futures in your hands, or you got to do a podcast and prepare to be journalist Jax, like, you know, like
Journalist Jax,
yeah,
I like that.
Journalist Jack.
like what how do you juggle it, or what the challenges?
And the challenges are, oi. The challenges are, for me, there's...
That's like an effect.
It was classic. I'm about to say some real epic shit. To be honest, I have like a moral side to myself where I want to make sure everyone's getting the best side of myself. That's probably the trickiest because I don't sign anyone that I don't think I can assist with as well. Like it's quite a close personal process. Building the right team, and then I've said this before, but I view artists as, even if you're not doing all this other stuff, you are like little startups. You're like an entrepreneur because you have to figure out your brands, figure out how you're gonna have enough music to release.
Yeah.
You're thinking about what gigs you want to play and relationships you want to have, right? So it's just applying that same kind of ideas to whatever else you're doing. So I'm thinking about my team and what gaps I'm missing, what are the right mix of people to work on it, and so that makes sure it's run and managed properly, and then being a strong leader as well. Like,
And it's about just wearing loads of hats. I can't
That
believe you
too.
didn't say that. About wearing loads of different wigs.
what a marketing job, Jodie. Like,
It's part of the brand now. It's become your
Yeah.
thing, hasn't it? And it's become part of your... Like,
sometimes I want to get my hairline out.
Yeah, I did expect one today, actually.
No, man, it's not always hats, man. Podcasting, we're here.
But can you be creative in the studio and then on the same day have a meeting about something more business related in the same day?
I break it into times. So there's certain times that are off limits, and I'll make everyone work early or work late if I need to do a meeting, or I try to put them all into the same day. So yeah, I don't fool myself. But the first thing I do every morning is I pay myself, and what I mean by that is I make music the minute I wake up.
that's good.
6 in the
okay.
morning. I sometimes wake up 5. I wake up earlier than everyone in my house. So about 5 o'clock. And I wake up, have a coffee, and I open my computer and I work on something.
So you feed that side of you
Yeah,
before
so
anything else happens.
You feel like, yeah, I've achieved something.
Yeah, okay.
And then I have 3 main things I need to get done that day. And then I go.
Nice.
Hearing Jax talk about having to be an entrepreneur, Emily, and have it, and not just making tunes, which has got you sort of on the ladder, if you will. Do you have a vision for where you want to go and where you want to be?
Yeah, so I just want to keep whacking out the dance tunes. I just got a few goals. Like, one is definitely to get in the top 40 charts at some point. Well, there's a few singers I want to work with. Becky Hill's one of them. That's like a big goal of mine. It's funny because she's from Bewdley and I'm from Kidderminster, and they're 10 minutes apart.
Oh,
So it's almost like a hometown collab.
She can it round to yours. Can she?
Yeah. But part of another thing I do, I run like a little Depop clothing brand thing on.
What's the
like
tag?
Depop. It's called Hungry Bear Vintage. I was thinking of changing it. It's just.
That's a
No, I like that.
Little name.
Keep it.
Love that.
But I've been a bit lazy on it recently, but that's like another side I want to push, or even in the future have my own merch, like have whether it's like Nash or something, like
Nice.
just using my last name. I just want to like push the merch side of stuff as well in a few years.
Nice.
I like that name too.
Yeah, Nasha.
it's quite not. There's like Dennis and Nasher as well.
It reminds me of Thrasher as well.
But another side is like a label. I'd love my own like label at one point, and just like a home for like anything really, not just something specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a few goals I want to achieve. I mean, half of them have been, thank God for my management, it's been achieved already. Like I had a few like gigs I wanted to play, like Leeds, Creamfields, Printworks, and like that just all came
Creamfield
to
second
me,
gig,
happened.
Jax. Second gig ever.
I thought my Sankey story was.
But yeah, it's been incredible, and like hopefully I'll reach the goals I want, and I've got a good team behind me, so I'm sure it will happen at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Being a DJ or musician these days, or DJ, is all about the multi-hustle, isn't it? Like, I think everyone's got like loads of plates spinning at the same time.
Yeah.
Or wants to have loads of plates spinning.
I feel like
at
that's
the
a
same time.
music thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a creative thing.
Apart from it, like rock musicians tend to be quite one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
dance music, hip hop is
Yeah.
it's just part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, even
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
Dua Lipa doing her magazine and
Yeah.
Totally.
I
Yeah.
also we're creatives. You got to
Yeah.
scratch that itch
Yeah.
and bring it. I feel like as artists, you're creating a world for people. So
Yeah.
you've got to share that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people is Andy Warhol. And
Nice.
back in the day, you know, he was doing Interview magazine and he was doing people's portraits and he was making his own art. And he was making art with Bassgate and he was doing this and that. And he was doing like brand deals and he was doing like, he had a little show on MTV all at the same time.
Wow.
Like all at the same time.
Andy was fully immersed. In
Yeah.
it. You used to live in that essentially a warehouse.
Yeah.
Everyone would just come to
The factory.
It was sick. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so sick.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Tate exhibition? Yeah.
I did actually.
was
Yeah,
sick,
I
yeah.
did.
Nice.
So we like to talk about anything that's going on in dance music at the moment. Something quite exciting, which sparked when I saw it on Instagram, but saw a play at Snowbombing. Don't know if I mentioned I've been to Snowbombing, but Honey Dijon.
You've got that tan from being
know.
on the mic.
I've also got a cough. It's not COVID.
Do you promise?
I've done 2 tests. But there's been rumours that Honey has made a track or is working on music with Beyonce, which sounds exciting. I mean, I'll start with you, Jodie. Would you be into that?
I would love
I don't even need to
hear
listen
that.
to it. It'd just be good, wouldn't it?
I would, yeah, I'd love to hear that. I mean, she's a great producer.
Yeah.
Beyonce is obviously mega.
What are we expecting though, sound-wise?
I was listening to her tunes on the way here. I was listening
Honey's?
to, like, yeah, all
Yeah.
of her tunes. I was like, right, let's have a listen. So, and they all sound very, very similar. Like, even I think whether it's the drums, there's just something in there. And obviously everyone has their own sound, but with her, I think there was an actual real sound to it. And I just think like it'll be very interesting to see how it goes round Beyonce's way, I guess,
Yeah.
and how it can be interpreted. But I mean, I think it'll be really cool.
Because then
Yeah.
it's the question is who's going to jump on whose vibe, or is it going to be?
I think Beyonce
Yeah,
would be
that's
house
the
music.
thing.
I hope
It has to, yeah.
I
It'd
hope
be a
so.
house banger, yeah. It's kind of like when Stuart Price worked with Madonna and did the Confessions album. That was so like, I can't wait to hear what they come up with.
And when there was uproar when Justin Bieber was on a track with Diplo and
Of
Skrillex.
course.
But it was
that did
amazing.
all right, didn't
That
it?
song's
Yeah.
iconic, man.
Yeah.
But you see
Yeah.
where Diplo and Skrillex are both very multifaceted producers anyway.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know what to expect from them, so it was acceptable.
Yeah.
Whereas Honey Dijon is a specific sound.
Yeah.
Mm.
There are, I think it will be Beyonce on like a house.
Yeah, will.
I
That would be
think,
cool.
Like some Voguey beats.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It'll be
yeah.
sassy.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You work massive artists. Is there any artist, pop artists or whoever who've not been involved in dance music that you've exposed to our world and now they're like fully in it?
I mean, Mabel is
Yeah.
a prime example of that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
When we first worked together in 2018,
Was Ring the first?
yeah, it was like she didn't speak for 2 days. Like we had to do some mad chats and just hang out, and she had never sung on anything above like 95 BPM.
Wow.
Wow.
So, you know,
Big difference.
we wrote Ring Ring in the last 30 minutes, and then I worked on it afterwards. And it's obviously slower than anything I've done, but that's cool. I can do that. But now she's doing house music.
Yeah.
So I like to
You
think
opened
that
the
I had
world.
I like to think I have I just did her last one, yeah. There's another version I did of that is fucking cool. And I wish she took that. Because that's always that's why I do Jax Jones, is because I basically like to work with people and then deliver something that, like, what if this was this? Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like just kind of mess with things a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you're producing for other people, you're at the mercy of their vision too.
Yeah.
But if she let me loose on this other version of Good Luck, it was so sick. It had a bit of Madonna in there, like the classic 80s, like Madonna house period. Like, trust, it was a vibe. But
Yeah.
maybe one day I could drop it as a VIP or something.
Yeah. I want to hear that.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
I know your music, your mainstream dance music, that's what you do, but someone like Honey, who is considered an underground artist, all of a sudden working with Beyonce, one of the biggest pop stars in the world, could we still consider Honey to be classed as an underground artist? Or
Of course.
yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, where's the line, you know?
Well, I think the line's blurred these days as well, because like, what is underground?
Yeah.
I have the argument that as soon as music became accessible, as soon as all music became accessible to absolutely everyone, i.e. when everyone got Spotify and Apple Music and Shazam and stuff, all of a sudden you've got access to every single song ever in your pocket. So what is underground and what is overground anyway? I
Exactly.
Think, yeah.
I think it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
That's true. There's an attitude to it,
There's an attitude.
which I don't know if it's always positive.
No,
You
it's
know what I'm
not.
saying? I think that the internet is the great equalizer, and you used to have scenes like geographically placed, and no one else could find it unless you knew. That's gone. And then by nature of the algorithms, you get, if you're into something, you get exposed to more of it, and that creates a certain like progression, but also limits certain styles of music too. And I feel like, so that kind of feels like it's removed the underground. So it's more about an attitude and a culture that makes things underground.
And Honey's always going to be cool, and Beyonce's always going to be cool. Beyonce's like the biggest pop star in the world, and she's still fucking cool.
Is she still the biggest pop star in the world?
She's in the top.
I think
she's in the top 5, isn't she? I mean, it's Beyonce.
Is she?
Well, let's get
I know this is a dance podcast, but like, I was talking about this the other day. Like,
It's a domestic now.
I don't know if she's top 5 anymore.
Who's above it? Who's above it?
I mean, she's not. Like, how do you rate pop stars? Like, you have to define that. But personally,
Dua, Rihanna.
Is Rihanna?
Only because she hasn't made music in a while, but I still think she's there.
No, but they're kids. My point is there'll be kids now that don't know who Beyonce is.
Yeah, fair.
Right? That are listening to Dua Lipa. They're listening
Olivia
to
Rodrigez,
Billie Eilish.
It is different now.
It's a different time.
It is different.
So I just had to check you there. I'm just asking the question.
It's
you know what I mean?
point.
Yeah.
I also think young people, like 18 plus now, not really bothered about like underground, overground,
That too.
like genres.
Totally.
It's like techno it prides itself as being something that isn't crossing over in that way, right? It's about a community, right?
Will's making a lot.
Yeah. But like
Beyonce fan over there, clearly.
and then when you look at Ultra and you'll have the techno stage, or you go to Tomorrowland and techno's on the main stage, Charlotte DeWitt's playing main stage or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you consider that underground anymore?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it still holds so I think you just got to change the idea of what it means. But it's still about culture. Do you know what I mean? And being true to what it is.
Absolutely.
But I think pop music's always drawn on underground, like ulterior alt cultures.
Totally.
You know what I mean? From way back, from whether they're sampling the XX when Rihanna did that on Intro. So I'm super excited to hear Honey Dijon. And
but you have much like Disciples in the beginning, you have an underground bone to your music as well. Because even of recent, I think you did a record with, was it Steph?
Yeah.
But I play out just the beat.
Oh, I appreciate
Beat's
that.
hard.
Yeah, same.
Beat's hard. I play that out. So it's like, but I don't know whether that's underground, overground, whatever. I just fucking love it. But it's not. I don't think about things being underground, overground. I just think, oh my god, that's a dirty bass line.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's music.
Yeah, it's still music.
What makes you move?
Like I'm not into the bleeps and blops in it. Like if it's got a hook, I'm down. Like and you can have that in underground records.
Yeah.
And I feel low key like the underground people, like the true ones, they like a hook too. Like Maya Jane Cole with they say what they say.
Sometimes
Like,
I'll play it now.
That's what I'm saying. And it's one of the most sampled records, right? And it's a banger. Like, but it's hooky.
Agreed.
Before we get on to our Planet B topic, which I'm very excited about, I do want to discuss one thing that I thought, well, it made me laugh actually.
I think I've had
when I saw it.
I poured in a head swell and a leg kick.
I poured that one stronger on purpose.
I've got another gig after this.
You touched on it earlier when you were like, you and your family, it's like a team effort to get into Glastonbury. I want to know what the furthest you've been is to get into the rave, because there's a story about this man who snorkeled his way into Ultra Music Festival in Miami.
Was that true? I thought that was an April Fool's joke.
No.
Was that April Fool's joke?
Oh no, we need to.
I assumed it was April Fool's.
I mean, that'd be pretty.
Actually, I
dedicated.
think, did we not check it? It was the 6th of April, I thought.
Fact check.
I'm going to check
I
it now.
think it was true.
Wow.
Snorkeled.
I heard it was true.
So and then he
Well,
climbed.
do you know
over
what?
it.
Whether it was April Fool's or not, it's like the lengths you go to to get in. Like, you hear about people climbing the fences at Glastonbury. Like, is it
The first time I went to Ibiza, went to Cafe Mambo, and we were like, oh, let's just have a look, let's get a drink. And then Duke Dumont starts playing, and we're like, oh, okay. So everyone's like crowding up, and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get to the front. I want to see him. But of course, you've got like the VIP bit at the front. And I think I was like, how old was I? I was probably like 16 at the time. I just went past this palm tree, stood there, sneaked into the VIP. I had like long sleeves on, and a man came up to me and he was like, have you got a wristband? I was like, yeah. and he just left me alone. I was just there at the front watching Duke Dumont, and it was amazing.
It's even better when it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mambo is so good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
it's
good.
like that's the dream gig I want to play. Like,
wasn't
I love
April.
Ibiza.
It wasn't April Fool's.
Oh, really?
4th of April. Yeah. So and they ended up. Well, they caught him, and he told them how he got in, and they gave him VIP because they thought
So he scuba
Wow.
dived. What was it?
it was snorkeled in.
Snorkeled in.
Yeah.
God,
That's kind of
insane.
peaceful, man. Like snorkeling is
Peaceful.
quite nice. Well, when you're underwater, it's like
Yeah, just
nice.
forget about everything
Yeah.
that's going on.
That's quite an idyllic.
Have you ever
Until a
seen
shark
anything
comes along.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything crazy at your shows? Like people try, you know what, people trying to blag away in the booth and all that.
You get like different countries are more known for it as well. But I know, definitely when you leave the big cities, I remember like park life is a madness outside as well. People are sprinting up and down the street to figure out how to get in. And I always get mad DMs, like people going like, Jaxie, you know I love you. Yeah. Like stuff like that, like just trying it on. You're like, go on then. Yeah, come on then. So like, no, I'm not in mad. Like, I was in Ireland the other day and I was playing this. It's like this 800 cap little like kind of 2-floor venue, and then the security guard knocked on my door and was like, "Dude, we can't let you play." I was like, "Why?" Because it's an 800 cap venue and 1,600 people have flooded this room.
Oh shit.
And they all like tussling and they couldn't open the fire doors. And then when I walked in, they just started screaming, bro. It was
You're so popular.
it was really fun.
Did you play still?
I played, man,
Still
but
playing.
like
Nice.
I had to do. Obviously, crowd control is a bit of a madness, so like you have to be careful. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Need a bigger venue. I can't talk. Need a bigger venue.
Need a bigger venue in it.
Yeah.
Promoters getting fired, bro.
Any stories you want to share?
No, I get a lot of DMs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The DM sliders are banter, innit?
Yeah, but sometimes I put them on the guest list, you know.
I got one
Check
the
it
other
out.
day. I'm probably showing my age now, bro. But like a girl sent me a voice note saying, "Jaxie, my mum loves you." Not her. Her mum loves you. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. It's like, and then she goes, maybe you could take a Nando's and then slip me a tenner. You'll be my new dad.
That's good. That's good.
Big with the mums.
Yeah, big with the mums, the hat.
Huge market. Mum
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
I was like,
I mean, Annie Mac just did the before midnight. I was looking at the comments. It's like it's all mums.
What do we think of that? Because I think that's a brilliant idea.
I'm low key loving it, bro.
Because it was all about day parties. Like, oh, this is great day parties. But I sort of like the idea of raving at a decent time, but still going to bed at a decent time. Is
Why
great.
has no one? Why has
I
that?
don't know.
Because you
Not a
mentioned
thing.
in Spain they start at 2.
Yeah.
Like work finishes at 7 for like 5 o'clock.
Why was it
can't we
ever-
party at 7?
But yeah, why was it ever that? Why was it?
Because there's something naughty about nighttime.
Yeah, you're right.
under the cloak of darkness.
Yeah, under the cloak of
Kebab
darkness.
shops.
She put that news out in the morning of April the 1st as well. I was like, Annie.
You don't believe anyone, do you?
I don't believe anyone. I'm just like
suspicious.
not trusting of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so I'll go to that.
We'll be going, bro.
Yeah, well, it's after the radio show, so
it's
I'll go
perfect.
3 hours raving, then get my McDonald's and go home.
I genuinely think it could be a thing, man.
Yeah, I
It
think
would
so.
be sick.
I'll be up for that. But anyone with a family or slightly older, everyone's like, yeah, I'll be up for that.
Yeah.
Anyone probably your age, you'd be like, no, that sounds way too early.
Yeah, they would.
Is that too
They'd tick it
early?
off. I'd do it, but
she's
a
got
lot
a
of my
test-
friends would be like,
Yeah,
They're all like
Tesco's
midnight
during the
people.
day, so
Actually, I wanted to ask, like, on the days you work at Tesco's, do you work on music after?
So I'm at Tesco. It's so stupid. It's 6 till 10 p.m. in the evening. It's literally
Oh, that's calm.
yeah. It's silly. Like it's not even it's not even a shift, is it?
Bless.
To get a break.
Yeah, and 15 minutes. Sorry, what did you say again?
So you've got time to work on tunes, basically.
Yeah, so I literally spend all day working on tunes and then go to work, wake up the next day, work on tunes, go to work. And it's only 2 days a week, so...
do you know how
all the
many
rest of the
people
week
you're
are
going to
tunes.
inspire with this story of like you've still been at Tesco?
Tesco
Get to
Go out of
Tesco
business.
indeed.
Yeah, you'll see all the Tesco's employees with little laptops and little keyboards.
Yeah.
I can make it too.
Right, let's get on to the Planet B topic. This is where it gets a little bit tasty.
Yes.
For those of you that are new to Planet B, welcome. We do this, and it's an alternative world, Planet B, where all the best things in dance and electronic music live. So every episode we come up with a theme or a category, and we hand it over to the guests to bring in contenders.
right.
And yeah, it gets a bit heated sometimes.
Well, it needs to get heated. But also, it's not just about...
like me.
Fight.
Yeah, like what you're doing at the moment. It's not just about your choice, it's about the argument. So you've got to come prepared with weaponry.
Yeah, you're all going to bring good answers, we know that, but it's about the argument and the case that you put forward that we are judging you on, because all these three that I'm about to reveal, or you're about to reveal, are worthy of a place on Planet B, but there can only be one. The Planet B question this week is based around electronic music albums and seminal iconic albums, because there's this year Chemical Brothers' debut album turns 25, as does Daft Punk Homework, 25 years. And then at the Grammys, Black Coffee last week won best album in dance electronics, and congrats to him. So we thought, let's do the greatest electronic dance music album of all time.
Oof, it's a big one.
Which is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I'm sure there's been many albums that have influenced you guys. But first, before we get into it, I want to ask about albums now. Like, I feel like albums back in the day were like a really important thing, and they still are. But now, are albums as important, do you think?
I don't think they are, unless the artist has a massive following and they've got like so many people loving them. Then maybe it is right to release an album because people want more. But I think if you're a smaller artist and not so much, because it's not going to reach out to as many people as singles would, in my opinion.
We know
Not
people
at the-
consume songs
Not at the time
differently
of
now.
release, but maybe as you get bigger, people kind of go back and see the bodies of work. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like how you've done it in the past.
So when did you know it was the right time to do an album?
I didn't. I felt like you, but after putting one out, I feel differently.
Yeah.
I think there's certain levers that are pulled in the industry by having an album. There's certain press you can't get if you're only putting out singles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain categories you can't get at the award shows.
Okay, yeah.
You can't.
Opens
Previously at a Brit Awards, you couldn't get a Brit nomination in the categories that didn't relate to gross sales without an album.
Right.
So you got those things. I think it's still dance albums in general are a bit weird, right?
Yeah.
They're always a bit of a topic, but I think it comes down to the creator and what their intention and artistic ambition is.
Yeah.
And there is, although the album started out as a cash cow, like Bob Dylan was the first person to do like a conceptual piece of like collection of records, but it was just a bunch of B-sides.
Yeah.
From Motown. So I think in dance it can feel like that, but I think if you've got like something more to say that isn't gonna work on radio or work in the clubs, I think it's worth doing.
Yeah.
And people will listen, and as Duvall said, it actually could grow you as an artist, because people go, oh, it's more than just like a club tune or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if it's on your heart, it's worth doing.
I'll get one out next week now.
Before Tesco's that night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think I was reading a First Floor article about Paul Oakenfold's album, which I didn't know that he did Starry-Eyed Surprise.
Yeah.
Literally, I just always thought it was just like, you know, a tune that you heard in the karaoke or whatever. And like the weird conundrum, the paradox of having an album that reaches a lot of people, but it still represents your sound, which is at the time was quite underground, like trance at the time. So it is a strange paradox doing a dance album. Like, you can't make a club. You can do a club album. I don't know.
As a fan, though, I remember listening to like Fatboy Slim's album from the very beginning right to the very end. You know,
Is that
as
a clue
complete
as
body
to
of
what
work.
your?
No, it's not that.
Actually, I know what yours are, but do I get points if I can guess it?
Yeah, go.
Hold on. On my days, I've gone blank.
Too many of that.
I literally it's an old
The
band,
Val's measures are.
and it's a cut. It was in D-Light.
No, but that would have been a good answer.
Great
for me.
suggestion.
Big
Yeah.
fan. Yeah, it's
Okay,
not.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you've surprised me, Jodie. Keeping the cards close to your chest.
Let's just get into it then. I'm going to start with Emily because I'm going to tell you why I liked your choice.
I love this one.
But tell us what it is and put your case forward. The floor is.
So mine was more of an inspiration aspect of it. So mine's Gorgon City Sirens. I've grown up like listening to them, and their sound like throughout the whole album was quite solid, and a lot of it sounded not the same but slightly different, which I really liked. And I think each song from that album did really, really well. Like you'd go every like summer, you'd hear at least 5 of the songs of that album everywhere. And like they've just been such a big inspiration. I wanted to choose that album because every time I'd be like, oh, what do I listen to? I'd just put that album on and play it and listen to it all on repeat. And like even the upcoming releases I've got, like you'll hear like a few inspirations of their sound in my tunes because they were the one like duo that I really loved. And it all, like when I used to listen to music, I always used to listen to like the top 40, and I just listened to like all these singers that you hear everywhere. But Gorgon City were the first people where I was actually on Instagram, and they showed how you actually make the tune. So before I saw that, I was actually like, who actually makes the tunes? I've never seen anyone do it. I'm just like, it's just a world where you release music as singers, and I never knew much about it. So go on Instagram, see them actually showing behind the tracks how they make it all, and it just sort of opened up the world for me to be as well, like, oh, I can do this as well, I can produce. There's just like, I love the whole album, and I just got such a unique sound to it. But yeah, mine's more of like an inspiration aspect.
I love that's more of a recent one in the last decade.
do rate
When you say like a most iconic album, you sort of automatically go right 90s, 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s. But like 2014 was Sirens, and
but that makes me feel hopeful. Jax and I came up through that era too.
Well, that album.
So it's like, oh my God, our music is getting picked for greatest album of all time by younger people. That is amazing. Because normally it is like, oh, Daft Punk, Chemical Brothers, or Faithless. Or, that's what I see as of all time. But now we're just old, bro.
No, it is true what you're saying, and that I've started to see the effects that I've like music and certain meeting people that have held it close, and that being the beginning of their musical journey. It is really quite bewildering.
How good was that time though? Like Deep House around that time, you had
Duke Dumont,
Duke Gorgon,
the lot.
Disciples.
Yeah, Disciples.
You had like Second City getting to number 1 with what was essentially a Deep House record. It was amazing. So
we've always had that in house music though. Like the house music has always
like
been populating the charts in a certain way, and
Yeah.
like a certain sound will capture everyone's imagination.
Yeah.
And then
Even like Pump Up the Jam. Or
totally.
Like
And then you get like these kind of one away number ones, and then they'll do an album. Like I was like researching Saturday Night. That Saturday Night.
Yeah.
What, Wigfield? Really?
There's a track.
On my Eurohouse tip.
There's a track doing the rounds at the moment with the sample. Just you know, the very beginning, she goes dee da 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 da.
Dee-dee-da-da-da.
There's this like track I keep hearing out
I heard
with
that
that
as well.
in it, and it's like
I heard that one.
She was a door girl in Italy.
Was
Just
she?
like a club, and the producers asked her to sing the record, and then she's a pop star.
Now she's living off the royalties, man.
Literally. Well, there was one girl who does what is it? Key. I got the key. She's a
the Cookie
motivational
Collective.
speaker now.
So she's got the key. She's got the
Gotta
secret.
That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah. So like, house that time though, 2013. It was a litty time.
So
I'm surprised you didn't pick Disclosure Settle, because obviously
That is.
We spoke about that. We
amazing.
spoke about
Yeah,
that.
that is.
They did some good tracks on that.
That album's
amazing.
amazing.
It's definitely a sick album.
Right.
It wasn't mine, so.
Jax, you were wrong with Jodie's choice. Jodie, would you like to reveal and put your case forward?
I've got notes.
You've got
on my
notes.
phone
Good,
as
we
well.
like
I'm
it.
very prepared.
We love
Just
notes.
bash these out on the way. So mine's actually Daft Punk.
I've got thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, okay. With me and Jax going have a
But
fight.
which one?
I might move
Discovery.
out the way.
Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery.
Second album.
Yes.
I've got thoughts on that.
It brought electronic music to a much wider audience than we'd ever seen before, in my opinion. It had stadium rock sensibilities. You've got all the singles, but then you've also got some really interesting deep cuts. Night Vision is like basically a soundscape. There's just really interesting moments on it that aren't just commercially successful singles that we know and love. Some of the songs have multiple samples. It's a stark contrast to Homework, which is obviously like really like Chicago housey. Filter House, French House. It was just like, I love it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
okay.
fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And it's interesting.
It was the one that really took them like beyond. Homework for me was my favorite just because it's got around the world on it. But
Yeah.
I feel like Homework, you start on Discovery and then you go to Homework afterwards.
Yeah.
That's how what it was for me.
Yeah.
Homework is, it's a bit of a dance cliche to say Homework. But
no, I know,
Yeah.
yeah. So what were your thoughts on Discovery?
it was kind of like, I thought Discovery is great, but I think if you're Daft Punk, Homework, if you're going to pick something from their catalogue, for me is the best album. I think the first albums are always amazing because it's like all that collection of influences and then comes out.
Yeah.
And these were two French guys. There was no internet, no nothing, and they were getting exposed to Detroit house and techno.
So Homework's very raw as well.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
and
like very,
I think that's what I love about the first album. You see it like,
And Burning was on there as well. Oh,
yeah.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And like the skits are like amazing, and it's just so honest. Like it's just a 909 and some samples from like Barry Manilow and that. Elton John samples, and like it's literally, and there's some synth work, and everyone gets fat. And similar to Disclosure's album, everyone gets really like it's like a myth of how they made it.
Yeah.
These guys did everything on Logic. And the same with Daft Punk, it was just like a cheap Alessis compressor.
Actually, with Latch though, they did the breakdown that they do of their songs on Latch, and Guy was like, "I still don't actually know what key this is in."
Yeah, I can imagine.
And he said, and I
pitch bend.
he said, I sent it to Jacob Collier, who's like a musical genius, and he said back, it's in the key of Banger. So
And it was all Logic plugins.
yeah,
Wow.
it
It was all Logic plugins. But yeah, Homework for me. But you got you. But Discovery is lit. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
But
one more
I feel-
time
really
on there,
lit.
mate.
One more
Yeah,
time. But I
yeah.
feel like Homework.
Yeah,
it also brought disco. I'm a huge disco fan. It brought that into like stadium.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which it had never experienced in its first incarnation.
Absolutely.
Late
I mean, it got
70s,
burnt
early
in the
80s.
stadium, like literally,
Well,
burning records.
literally,
in
yeah.
the baseball
20 years
park.
later,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like reclaimed. That-
True,
yeah.
true.
So we've got Gorgon City, Sirens, Daft Punk, Discovery, and finally, over to you, Jax.
So my contender for one of the greatest dance albums of all time is Dizzy Rascal, Boy in the Corner.
Explain dance though, because I mean grime.
It's based, grime comes from garage, and it's at the same tempo, and you can hear those kind of influences all over Dizzy's album. He comes from Pirate Radio, and they would have been spitting on garage as well.
Okay. I mean, we talked about it. Genres don't matter anymore. So.
It was signed to a dance label, which is Excel, famously
Excel,
signing Prodigy,
Yep.
and they saw something in that album which has become the sound of London. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the guy made a lot of the music on a PlayStation using a
I did not know this.
PlayStation music game, and he made a bunch of the beats from that. And you can't get more
What was it
electronic.
called?
than
What was it called? Music.
it was like called Music VJ or something.
VJ, EJ.
Music
Yeah.
VJ on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he would just take that and spit like with his unique voice, really. And then what was great about it, which was one of my other choices, which was strong contender, was James Blake as well for this. And both him and Dizzy share something similar, where it was just a unique perspective and told in a really interesting way, and it just sticks with you. And I just feel the industrial elements of it, the rawness of it, it's just so dirty.
It's definitely dirty.
And Mix Mag said it's a dance album too.
Can't argue with Mixmag.
Then it must be.
Okay, so we need to decide then on the greatest
And
electronic
last
album.
thing to add, I think it's really a little bit of a cheap shot to pick an album from older than 20 years or 15 years.
That will always win.
Yeah, and we kind of hold on to nostalgia in dance music, and it's like especially house music. Like they're still playing "You Got the Love" and all these records. It's like I feel like we've got to champion music that is brave and courageous and influential and pushing sonics forward. So that would be.
He's completely sending for Jodie, right?
I know. I'm like,
Jodie's my people's as well, but
Check this
people's
outside.
this is like the dinner chat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's taking you out.
I stand.
But
by
that's
my
why I rate
choice.
Gorgon, that you pick Gorgon, because it's new. It's like when you talk about the greatest bands of all time, you go, oh, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Or like the Eagles. Oh, I'm gonna say this. But That's way back when.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And things have changed. And you might play an original from, you could still play. I feel like you got
Imagine
to
it.
talk about stuff that's relevant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people still listen to these Dizzy in that way.
We actually need to create legends now by speaking about them.
Yeah.
Because our legends have already been created. The Michael Jacksons, they'll always be talked about forever. Now we need to talk and push the conversation forward with who we think are legendary within the last 20 years.
There's so
I
many,
hear you.
There's so many honourable mentions as well. Like, I mean, Calvin Harris, 18 months, just like
Oof.
every,
It's amazing.
Every
Oh.
track was just like,
How did we forget
a hit,
about him?
wasn't it? Fatboy Slim, if we're going way back. More recently, Bicep with Bicep or Isles, obviously the one last year. Disclosure Setter, we mentioned it. But we have 3 contenders here that you've all put your case forward for, and I'm delighted to say that this week it's not my choice because you're making the decision.
No, you didn't do that. I was just going to do that to you. All right, cool. So I love all albums. I have all albums. Out of all 3 of these, the one I'm going to pick is not actually my favourite album, but I think the conversation was fantastic for it. The way he delivered on it.
All 3
was
put
more
a
important.
good case forward.
And also, so my favourite album is Daft Punk out of all these choices. So.
But it's not one, is that what you're saying?
Congratulations on that, because I think it is a seminal album. I think it's fantastic. But I do agree with Jax that we kind of need to push the conversation forward. And obviously Dizzy, I grew up with knowing Dizzy and loving his music. But where I think Gorgon City, just take it for me, is the fact that they've inspired a new generation to come through and say, this is my greatest album of all time. And we're from that generation. And I've never heard those words come out of someone who's so fantastic on the come up and about to do some incredible things in the
thank
industry. So for me, it's Nash and Gorgon City.
Yeah, in Gorgon City. Well done. Well done, Emily.
Go on with your bad self.
They'll be buzzing. That they
Yeah,
get
literally.
Daft Punk and Dizzy.
Would have known.
So they go up onto Planet B alongside MC Skibbity, Andrew Weatherall, Pussy Palace, the club night, and Tisha. It's becoming quite the place.
Quite a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It is a mixed bag, isn't it? We've got to do, before we go, AOB, any other business. This is just where you quickly tell us what's going on, what have you got coming up, anything exciting to tell us.
I made a tune last week and it's out tomorrow.
How'd
you get out tomorrow?
In 2 hours?
It took a bit longer. So it's, George Parkinson No More.
Yeah.
It's a re-edit of it.
Oh, sick.
So Ministry were like, do you want to remix? I was like, yeah, of course I do. That's the one tune I really wanted to remix. So did it within like 2 days, sent it back. Now it's coming out tomorrow.
Okay,
Fantastic.
wicked. And enjoy Ware's project as well
Yes.
with
I will,
MK
thank
and Wooly.
you. Yeah, can't
Jodie.
wait for that.
Got a tune out now called Good Time.
Yeah, amazing. We love
Remix is coming out. I've just done a VIP edit that comes out tomorrow, next week. Yeah, something like that. I don't know anymore. Yeah, loads of stuff going on.
What's plans this
So
summer? Are
catchy.
you any Ibiza or festivals? And
Bit of Ibiza not announced yet. Loads of festivals.
where in Ibiza?
Not announced yet. Oh man!
And
We're
great-
on a stage at Creamfields together. aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
We shared it
That'll be
before.
I think we're sharing quite a lot of stages this summer.
Jax, what about you?
Glad that I didn't fight you too much on this podcast.
Yeah, I know. We like spending summer together.
We'll pick it up this summer. What am I doing? Obviously, yeah. Where did you go? Is out now, and
You got follow up ready?
yeah, I got New Europa coming. That's probably coming.
Oh,
next.
nice with Martin.
Martin Solveig is sick. I've got Ibiza this year. I've got.
Where are you in a bit? Can you tell us where you're in a bit?
I'm in High this year.
Okay, nice.
I'm doing. I've got residency headlining Room 2 at High. And then playing some other night. I'm in Ibiza pretty much all summer, which I'm really excited about.
Say Room 2 in Hive is like,
yeah.
is massive.
Like Fisher started there. Everyone talks about it.
Yeah, sick.
Like the opening night that we're doing is, I can't lie. I don't get gassed that much these days, but I was gassed. Like you'll see, like, and hopefully if it comes off, what I've got planned for the opening night, it's gonna be sick.
Okay,
So
we should go.
Oh, we'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll be
perfect.
there.
oh, you're most welcome, man.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
So the hospitality is good for you.
Make sure you give him a warm drink.
Hold the ice.
That's all we've got time for. Episode 5 of Planet B is done. We decided that Gorgon City and Sirens, surprisingly but deservedly,
Yep.
was our greatest album for Planet B. So well done, Emily.
Fantastic choice.
Thank you.
And
You notice how Duvall framed it is because he said, you know, because now I have a chance of being a future legend. Yeah, I mean,
Only you saw that.
yeah, I heard that, bro. I was like, ooh. Just trying to steer the conversation.
I got 1,000 more beats to go. I'll get there.
don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you share it and tell everyone about it, and follow us on Instagram, which is Welcome to Planet B. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Emily, for the red wine. It was
Thanks for
amazing.
having
No, it's been a pleasure. And Jax and Jodie, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
See you next time. And it's going to be our final episode as we go back for another encounter onto Planet B.
That's it.